And hello, you amazing friends. This is your pal, Edward Zia, speaking with the wonderful suntan with the legendary Cristina Davy. Cristina Davy, how are you tonight?
I am fabulous, already into the Christmas spirit. I have one more day before I'm going on a holiday. Whoop, whoop. Merry Christmas.
Can I ask, where are you off to, Cristina Davy?
I'm going to go to Port Macquarie. I went
Oh,
there about a year ago, and I got all rain on, so I decided I'm going to go for more.
so are you going back for revenge? Is it time to nail it this time? You're back for revenge.
I'll let you know how I go.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling like you plan this holiday, you go somewhere exotic, and God turns against you and gives you bad weather. And there you go. You want to do it again. It's like you want to delete that holiday, pretend it didn't happen, and come back and fix everything. I get
Well, something like that, yeah, for sure.
it. Yeah. Now, I was just going to say as well, Christina. Now we're dealing with a very sensitive topic here that we've both been victims of. How to navigate the holiday single. We've both been there, and we're going to talk a lot about it. But before I dive into what can be a bit of a dark topic, and if you are watching, like, share, comment, say hello, fellow Christina Davy and I just want to ask you about how's your singles meetup coming along. I've heard amazing things. Tell us about your singles meetup in Sydney.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. I'm so glad you asked. So I was asked by so many people if I can match them with someone, right? And I said, well, matchmaking is not exactly what I do.
But your
However,
answer is sure. Give me money, and I'll do it right now. That's the correct answer.
so then I just had this brilliant idea. I thought, well, why not putting people together, right? Like give them a topic, give them a space, a time, and let them mingle and get together. So yeah, it's really great. It's growing. I'm really excited. We have quite a few people coming for the next one, which is on the 5th of January, right after your business networking meeting. So you can kill two birds with one stone. With one stone, you go and do some business networking, and then you just stay
Yeah.
on and continue with chatting in different terms with someone that you never know might pick you.
Well, on a funny note, actually, and I got told this today. So I get told everything, right? And interestingly, there's been the talk of it. So everyone's loving your meetup, right? They're loving your meetup and our meetup, which obviously they're connected, right? Which is awesome. And interestingly, a lot of people are saying at our meetups, a lot of people are hooking up. Apparently, a group of people got together at our last meetups. I got told that today, and I got a little bit of intel on who's who, but of course that goes to the grave with me. If two people kiss, I never tell. I keep it all secret.
Good on you. We don't tell who was there and who was not. You notice I haven't said anything.
There we go. So I just want to say, no matter what you do at our meetups, you can trust us. We know what's going on, but it goes to the grave with us. Is that a fair comment, Christina Davy?
Absolutely, 100%. Totally.
Yeah. So just as a quick plug, just to let you know, so our next business networking meetup is Friday the 5th of January at Novotel Darling Harbour, and that flows on to Cristina Davy's single meetup afterwards. So that's going to be very. I have a feeling I'm going to wake up in the morning and have a stack of WhatsApps from cool stuff that happened the night before.
It's going to be really interesting for sure. Like,
Yeah.
going. I think that's the thing that sometimes business people, or people who are so focused on their career or personal development as well,
Mm.
they just don't really create time, to
Yep.
network with people, to meet
Me too.
people actually, where they can feel aligned, they have similar goals, they have, um, I hear a lot of women saying, "Oh, what are all these men that have plans and goals, and are ambitious?" And then I meet all these men who want the same. They want a partner who is soft, but also strong, and who can take care of herself, and has similar plans or goals. So I thought, well, I'm going to create a group that's focusing on getting together people who are into career of business or personal development, so they can find each other and make some new friends or obviously meet significant others. So I'm really excited about this initiative. I think it was a great idea, and the fact that it's right after your meeting makes it just double the joy.
Yeah, and just a key point as well. If you've just come in, by the way, or if you're watching the recording, please hit that like, leave a comment, repost it, share it everywhere. And yeah, I was just going to say we're very inclusive. So gay, straight, whatever you're into, we've got you covered, which is very cool.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how to spend Christmas as a single person. Oh my God.
Now,
So
just on that one, I'm a pro on that topic because, I spent many Christmas, before I met Lassie and the gang, I spent most Christmases on my own. So I know this topic very well.
yeah, you actually mentioned that, and I thought that was pretty cool, because I know as a single person here, it was very hard. My family was in Romania. I had my ex-husband's family, here, and just a couple of friends. So it was really hard to navigate. Like, I didn't really know what to do. So I just sort of listen to my intuition and start connecting with people. So if I can share one tip, is actually, just connect with others who are in the same situation like you, and stick around, like stay connected, throughout the year. And if you know a friend of a friend, just reach out to friends and say, hey, I'm looking for something to do at Christmas. Do you want to come over, or what are you doing? So it is really important that you spread the word, so to speak, onto others. And just say, hey, do you know anyone that's doing a party, or maybe someone else that doesn't have anything to do? Maybe we can get together. But then tip number 2 is organize a party at your house.
There you go.
It was very scary.
Organize a sexy party. I like the sound of that.
Well, sexy or non-sexy, like, depends if you have young kids or not.
Yeah.
If you are a single parent and you have young kids, then that might be a bit of a challenge. So could you find another single parent that has young kids just like you and organize something together? I've done that as well. And organize a party at my house, or a dinner or something. That was always successful. So people would just, other people that didn't have family as well will just come over, and we'll just all, do whatever what we wanted to. So you can choose a theme for the party as well, just to spice it up a little bit. Like, what were you saying earlier? Sexy party?
Sexy. I was thinking Benny Hill. I'm showing my age here, but there used to be this show on TV. It's a British comedian called Benny Hill, and he'd always organise sexy parties. It was just part of his running gag, right?
Many people might not wake up single the next morning.
Yeah.
After the sexy party.
Sexy party. Now, it's interesting you say that, because but like a bit of trivia about me. So I come from Melbourne originally. Putting aside ethnicity, I come from Melbourne originally, and my only family was my mum. Right, my mother was my only family. But when I came to Sydney, living in my car. So I came to Sydney, it was actually a while ago now. I'm 45 now. I came to Sydney about 16 years ago, right? And I was on my own, didn't know anyone, and I spent a lot of birthdays and Christmases on my own, right? And this is my fault. For the first 1 or 2 times, I was and I'm just being honest. I don't like it. I'm just being honest, but I was very much in victim mode. I was very much, woe is me, that sort of thing, right? So I entered this victim mode for the first 1 or 2 years. And I want to talk to you about that victim mode, because a lot of people do enter that victim mode. Like, especially, let's say you just came to Australia 2 months ago, right? You don't know anyone. You're spending Christmas on your own. It's very easy to feel, hey, there's something wrong with me. Everyone's having, Christmases and I'm on my own. To someone who's feeling like that, what do you say to them? I know they can go out and make friends, but if you're feeling that sort of victim mindset, how do you break that, Cristina?
I'm so happy you brought this up, because this actually happens frequently, right? I think what happens is people expect others to reach out to them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear of rejection, or fear of being seen, fear of judgment, like what will people think if I just reach out and tell them, hey, I have no plans. But what happens is, while we are sitting dark, not doing anything about it, and expecting something to fall from the sky into our lap.
I've done
right?
that. Yep,
It
I've
might
done that.
not happen. So I'm really glad you brought this up, actually. And I
Mm.
was thinking to mention it too, but I completely forgot. So this is brilliant.
Mm.
Please don't just sit there, expect someone
Yep,
else to just come to you with this,
yep, yep.
amazing proposal.
That's what
As
I've
in,
done. That's what I
yeah.
did. I went into a heavy victim mode, and I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it.
Because some people have really busy lives and some people don't.
Mm.
So you want to connect with the ones, I mean, you ideally connect with both types, right? But what I've done is, over the years, I connected with other single mothers, or I connected with families who also didn't have families here, so they were looking for something to do themselves.
Mm.
So you still have some time to look around your circle, right? And start just making some calls or approach people and just ask casually, oh, what are you doing for Christmas? Yeah. And then you just say, oh, I don't really know what to do, right? And now you're actually doing something about it rather than just expecting for things to just happen for you.
Yeah.
So when you start connecting with people and you say, I don't really know what to do, like, have you heard anything? Right, then someone else might suggest an event, okay, or might suggest something that you have not thought about it yourself. But sitting back and expecting, it's same like in life. I hear so many women like, it's just the right partner will just come to me. Well,
Yeah.
it will, but if you just
No.
go at work and home, it won't.
Yeah. No.
Because
Never happened.
they might not, know where you are. So
Yeah.
you gotta get out there. So go and really look at Eventbrite, Meetup, Facebook events. What is it that you are into? Connect with some sort of community, or pick an event that really looks like fun to you or interesting to you, and be willing to try something new.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny you bring that up, because one of my side roles is I'm the Meetup community leader for Australia. So I work directly with Meetup New York, and I help do a lot of Meetup support. It's probably started about 6 years ago. Actually, one of my side roles is Meetup community leader for Australia. And interestingly, before that, right, before I got into that, one of my motivations for running my own Meetup groups was, yes, I wanted to do it for business reasons, like get customers and all that, which obviously I have. But it was actually, I had a bit of a social agenda as well, as like, I wanted to use it to make friends. And I remember before I started my own meetups, I did exactly what you did. I went to heaps of meetups and I met lots of people. I made a lot of new friends, right? And it's funny because, and this is a criticism I'm making myself here, full respect to our viewers, is that I had this real pity mode, like, oh, I'm spending my birthday and Christmas on my own. There's something wrong with me. And eventually I got over that. And I grew up a little bit and I said, you know what? When I started going around and meeting people, I realized so many people like that. There are so many people today who spend Christmas and their birthdays on their own, right? And I think it's easy to feel like there's something wrong with you. And I'm here to say there's nothing wrong with you. It's sad. It's sad, but it's very common.
It is. It is. And usually it's because people don't actually do. It's like when you are depressed, I give this example a lot in my coaching. When you are when the person takes the identity of feeling depressed, they don't do anything they don't usually do a lot of fun things, because it doesn't fit in with being depressed. If I'm depressed, I'm not going to organize. I'm not going to go out there and do something that's going to be fun, because I'm depressed.
Yeah, I'm too busy being depressed. I'm not going to go for a run around the block or something. Yeah.
So I'm just going to stay. And I know, like, I hope I'm not triggering anyone, and I have the whole respect for how people feel. I'm just trying to open some horizons here, some windows and doors, and look through it and pick, because I used to be depressed myself, about 2000 up until 2018. And, I used to choose not to do some stuff because they're not feeling what I used to believe. I used to believe that, I should just be happy just like that. I should just know how to be happy and just be smiling and just feel great. So I wasn't doing anything in order to actually change that. And with Christmas and being alone, it's kind of like that too. Like, oh, you said this, you call it like, right. We just kind of realize, oh, I'm alone. Nobody wants to be with me. It's kind of what comes first, right? But I will be the chooser, and I will actually choose who I want to be with because it's a lot more power and it feels really good. So if you're willing to just not make it personal, if somebody has plans and says no to you, and go over your rejection, fear of rejection, and reach out to people. You'll be surprised how many people are in exactly the same situation like you, and you might not even know, and they are right there around you. So pick up the call and, just say, hey, what are you doing for Christmas? And you don't have to tell them yet, like if they say, I have no idea, you can say, guess
opportunity.
Me either.
It's funny you bring that up. And I remember when the whole lockdowns started, right? And we started doing Zooms, which now our Zooms are huge, right? We kept doing. I always thought Zooms would be this short lockdown thing, but now we're doing Zooms forever. They're awesome. And I remember I think it was a Thursday. It was the 20th. I could be wrong here, but from memory, it was like one of our Zooms landed on Christmas Eve, right? And I decided to do it anyway, right? And I said to myself, it's just me and I was wearing a Christmas hat, right? It was just me and wearing a Christmas hat on my home. Awesome. About 25 people came, right? So, and we all joked, it's like we're all alone together, right? That was the running commentary. We're alone together, right? We're all a bunch of lonely weirdos who have become friends, right? It's kind of like that. And the thing that I find fascinating is, and this is another point I want to throw in there, and this is what I did as well, and I encourage people to do, is you want to also be comfortable being by yourself. So I'm saying two things here. Yes, seek out friends and find activities. But I think the other side of the conversation that we need to talk about is, can you be comfortable by yourself? Can you enjoy a bit of solitude, right? So I want to talk about that. No one talks about that, and I know you do, which is why we're live streaming. But I want to talk to you about that topic of being comfortable by yourself. Before that, we've got a few people here. We've got Vishal, good seeing you, and we've got Cami watching from Facebook. We love you, Cami. But Christine, I want to talk to you about why do you have to be counterpoint? Why do you have to spend Christmas with anyone? Just be by yourself. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think it's really important to be able to do both. Being by yourself allows you time for reflection, allows you time to do things that you might not with others, right? So like take care of yourself. I'm actually looking forward in going on this holiday because I'm such a people person. Like I'm always connected with people. So I'm truly looking forward to spend some time just with my family. So a really small group of people, or actually some time on my own. And what that allows me to sit with myself. It allows me to sit with my feelings, allows me some time to reflect, allows me to do some things that otherwise I couldn't do. And there's power in that, when we have more of a growth mindset, and when we have, when we are able to have positive conversations with ourselves and look at ourselves in a positive light rather than negative. Most people that are avoiding to sit with themselves most of the time think low about themselves, think that this is the wrong thing to do, but it actually can be quite rewarding.
Yeah, I got a few funny. We got Rob Adams with us. Rob Adams says asexuals live this life already. I love your work, Rob Adams. Rob Adams, you are a great guy. It's funny actually. I'm going back quite a few years to make this point, right? But I know I'm a mid-40s now, but I've been losing weight. I remember years ago, I had this big phobia being by myself. I was a real people pleaser. I was very dependent on hanging out with people, and I remember, I actually went to Vietnam as a post-military. I actually went to Vietnam on 30 days of backpacking. I went on my own, right? And it was such a liberating experience because whilst I went on my own, I was partying with people nonstop, right? Even I remember, even when I flew there on the plane, I was already making friends on the plane. Like, even though I went on my own, I was never on my own. But what I meant is that I really actually enjoyed being on my own, right? I actually started to really embrace that. And it's funny what I say these days, right? I travel a lot for business. I travel on my own for business all the time, right? I actually love traveling on my own. I went from being like a people pleaser that had to be surrounded by everyone to being the opposite, saying, I'd much rather do my own thing. So I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think learning how to be, so I think we're saying two things here. Yes, on Christmas, go seek out people, make new friends. That's awesome. But at the same time, we also want to be comfortable on our own. So I think these are two things that we need to pursue at once. What do you think of that one, Cristina Davy?
I'm so glad you brought it up. You make really interesting points here, Edward. And I remember my first time going on a weekend away by myself was in my 40s.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I was after a breakup, and my sister told me, "Hey, you go. I'll stay home with Ryan, and you just go." And I was like,
what am I going to do on my own? You're crazy, sister. What the hell's wrong with you?
like, I don't want to go by myself. Who goes by herself?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so
awesome.
healing, so profound. I got the chance to connect with myself. I got the chance to do whatever I wanted without having to worry about anyone else but my own needs. Do self-care stuff, put cream everywhere, put a mask on my face, lie in bed, and just don't have to go anywhere. It was so phenomenal and really good. And I got some massages, and oh my God, and I just traveled from one place to another. I remember I just went from like town to town, and I just enjoy observing people and getting to know new places. And as you said, I met some really cool people along the way, and that made it so good. So good. So never be afraid to be on yourself, and if you notice that your energy is going down and like your negative thoughts are coming up, how can you interrupt that story for just a little bit by telling yourself, the truth, which is that you are freaking amazing. Okay. And there are people that wish they had what you have, like some time to themselves, and they can't.
Yeah.
And
that's me today. Don't tell anyone. That's me today.
Someone I know, so many people that wish they had, especially single parents, they wish they had some time to do themselves. So
and we've got a funny comment. We've got my old friend, we've got Daniela Brugman's with us. Daniela, great seeing you over on Facebook. And she made this funny comment. I'm sometimes too comfortable being on my own, lol. Yeah, me too. Now, on a funny note, this is an interesting segue, right? Which I find you'll find funny. So right now, I fly a lot for business. I fly usually at least 2 or 3 times a month for business, and I usually just fly domestically in Australia. Now, I fly Virgin Airlines, and there's heaps of strikes right now. So there's a lot of Virgin Airlines strikes right now. And I got caught up in the weekend over the strike. So I had to fly from Sydney to Melbourne to run a business networking meetup. And a strike occurred while I was in Melbourne, so I couldn't get home. Hundreds of people were affected. And there were no flights left back to Sydney direct. So the next day, they put me in a hotel overnight. The next day, they flew me down to Launceston and Tasmania. I had the whole day there. Then I flew back to Sydney. Otherwise, I just can't get home. And so what happened to me, I had a forced holiday. Holiday out of the blue, forced holiday, and I was on my own. And can I tell you something, Cristina? I loved it. It was fantastic. It was awesome. It was just awesome. I'm on my own. I was just taking photos and shit. It was great.
It's how you look at it. This makes such a great point, because it's how you look at it. You're looking at it as, I don't want this, therefore it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? Or you can just look at like, what are some people that like will pay money to have time to themselves?
Launceston. Some people fly out a free trip to Launceston.
So you're gonna really feel based on how you look at it and what you choose to focus on. You can choose to focus on it's a bad thing, or you could choose to focus on like, well, how can I turn this into something fun? And be willing to try something new. Okay, maybe it's a new place that you can go for a weekend or just a day. Maybe again, I work with a lot of people with kids. So and single, like with no kids or kids as well. But if you have kids, can you start a new tradition for you and your kids? Go someplace or do something that you haven't done before, and and really feel okay with you just connecting with your kids. Just having that special time and turn it into something like really, really, like a really awesome memory that you can have with them.
I love it. And you got a great share from Rob Adams, who's watching over on Facebook. We love you, Rob Adams. And Rob Adams says this. That actually sounds a bit like me. I have a business associate who travels with just a backpack, so they can live the moment and not plan where they end up at the end of each day. I don't know how they do it. Now, that's a bit extreme for me, but when I was caught up in Launceston, I had a backpack. I had my veterans backpack. And the thing I found funny, I like how you said the viewpoint of it, because what was interesting about my experience over the weekend, I've actually made quite a few friends on the day, because there were hundreds of Sydney people caught up in Hobart. And I was speaking to this one guy who was just a great guy, but he was just pissed off. He was angry at his company. He was angry at the airline. He was just pissed, right? He was just pissed. I took the viewpoint of, I didn't ask for this holiday. In fact, I didn't even want this holiday, but now I've got it. I'm going to make the most of it. That's a viewpoint that I took, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I suppose we're saying two things here as a bit of a recap. We're saying two things in this high level. We're saying two things in this live stream. On one hand, we're saying, if you are single, go to meetups, go to events, seek out and make friends so you're not alone. And then in a way, we're contradicting ourselves almost, but we're saying something else, saying, whilst you don't want to be alone, you need to be comfortable being alone. So I guess there's two things that we're saying that almost sound contradictory. Is that a fair comment, Cristina Davy?
Well, you can do either or, whichever one suits you. Like, that's what's important to you. You pick whatever. Are you willing to pick one and go with it? You could either, what's the most valuable thing for you right now? Is it to be by yourself and spend some time reflecting, journaling, making a plan for 2024, look at the new direction, as I said, take some self-care, like, I don't know, for me right now, being able to wake up at what time and spend 2 days in bed sounds really awesome. After 2 days, it's going to be too much, but like 2 days or like, that sounds really awesome. So what is it that you need? Ask yourself. The best thing to navigate this is like, ask yourself, what do you need right now? Do you need time with yourself? Do you need time with others? Do you need connection? Do you need love? Do you need, to feel important, to feel like you matter? Do you feel that you want to try a variety of new things, or you just feel maybe that you just want to feel safe at home and, just keep to yourself? And so what is it that you really need? Ask yourself and write it down, and then come up with some. We gave you some ideas in here on what is it that you can do. And just remember that you are creator. You are the creator of how you want to feel, and there's steps that you can take. There's no, like, things don't just happen, they happen when we are creating them, when we are taking certain steps or actions to do that. And understanding that is very empowering. And yeah, I would love to expand more on this. I could definitely have a call with someone, or if you need any help, any support in how to find a partner, or how to navigate those holidays in a really elevating way, please let me know. I'll leave a link in here for you to book a call.
Brilliant. And there's a few reactions to our comments as well. We've got Ulia Lubnitz watching. Ulia, great seeing you. Long time no see. And Rob Adams, we love you, Rob Adams, makes another good point. If I have a laptop webcam and a headset and a decent internet connection, I can make an office anywhere. So true. And to me, that's an interesting thing. And I think one of my reactions to what you're saying, which I agree with, is whether you choose to spend Christmas or the holidays on your own, or whether you choose to spend it with people, or you're doing both, my reaction is embrace whatever you're doing. It's okay to hang out with people. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to do a hybrid. But what I am saying is accept whatever you do. Embrace whatever path you take, is embrace it positively. Is that a fair reaction, Cristina Davy?
Absolutely, 100%. Turn it into a positive. As I said, there's always someone that wants some alone time, and there's always someone that wants a party. So whichever one you are in, what situation you are in, yeah, embrace it. I love that advice. You gave the best
There
advice.
we go. Yeah. Whereas I'm a hybrid. I'm a bit of a hybrid. I'm always a hybrid character. I want to be around people. Then I'm done. I want to go to my PC and play a bit of XCOM 2, The War of the Chosen. So I'm a guy who's always got a foot in both camps. I'm that sort of character.
And recharge. That's the best way to be. You get, the best of both worlds, right?
Now, Cristina, thank you for your advice. You're amazing. Now, as we wrap things up, and everyone, thank you for watching. Please like, repost, comment, connect with Cristina Davy and I. Cristina, tell us a bit about some of your services and how can people reach out to you to get started?
Yeah, absolutely. So I support successful people find the right partner. So, if you are looking to understand your love blocks, why it's not really happening for you, if you feel like you're not confident enough, or you simply don't know where, or you are not sure what you're looking for, if you are after a breakup, if you just have been single for a long time and you kind of like really don't know even where to start, when it comes to dating, please reach out. I have so many strategies, so many ideas. I have actually an event that's starting on the 27th of December, and it's online, so you can join from any part of the world. And I'm going to support you, give you some ideas on, how to understand what's preventing you from, finding the right partner. What is it that you can do about it, and I'm going to support you get some momentum. So please join. If you're from Sydney, come on the 5th of January to meet some others. Okay, it's going to be the best one that we have had so far. I had so many people interested in that as well. But if you're shy and you just want to do some one-on-one, like just book a call with me. I would love to talk to you and, get to know you, know your story, understand, what's the most difficult, what's the most challenging for you, and show your way out. This is what I do. I just really help men and women create more love in their life, because they are creators and sometimes they just don't even know they are.
Yeah, amazing. It's funny actually giving a bit of commentary from my end on that one. So, and this is obviously where I met, where you would say I manifested Lassie if you want to get all spiritual, right? So what happened was at some point I actually stopped dating, right? I decided to stop dating. And I said to myself, I want to meet the one. I want to meet a beautiful woman, get married, have children, and all that. And I put up the intention and I said to myself, and I don't know her yet, which I didn't. But I realized if I keep attending heaps of meetups and meeting lots of people, if I meet hundreds of people, statistically speaking, there'll be one or two women in there that would fit the bill, right? And I just kept playing the numbers, and it was about 10 months later, I met Lassie, right?
Oh, so what do you think he helped you?
Yeah. So what helped me was so two things were. So I'm saying a stack of things here that slightly contradict each other. Number one was being comfortable on my own, saying, yes, right now I'm single and I'm looking for the right one, but I'm okay being single. So I'm saying two things at once. Yes, I'm okay being single, but B, I am open to meeting the right lady, right? So that's the statement number one. Statement number two, and you said it before actually, I knew if I'm sitting at home, this is not going to make me successful. If I'm going out and meeting people, it's going to be good for business. And also, it's going to increase my odds of finding whoever this lady is, right? And the third thing was I just started doing it. I started meeting everyone. And where it all happened was one time I was running a business network, not my event. This is before I launched my own meetup. So I was running a business breakfast actually for another networking group. And I had the script for the meeting. So I've got the script here, like reading out the meeting. And Lassie was the slim, hot Asian lady that walked in that got my attention, right?
Of course. I mean, yeah. Beauty.
And what was quite funny is Lassie already had me worked out. So Lassie, in a way, was kind of stalking me beforehand, right? So
I know that. Good on you.
And I actually said to myself, I want a woman who actually stalks me a little bit. So that was actually, interestingly, the intention I put out there, Lassie was the exact mirror of that intention. right? Because I said, I don't want someone who chases me. I want someone who's interested in me. I want this to be not Ed pushing along, but I want this to be an organic thing we do together. But it's just funny. Again, this is before I met you, but I put it out there and kept at it, and it all happened.
I have a matching story to that, Edward, and I'm so glad you brought that up. Absolutely. Setting intentions works. I think when we are in a high vibration and we are open for it, okay, things align. But sometimes we also have fears that are, preventing us. Like if I have fear of being hurt, I might be trying to be open, but I'm also closed at the same time. I remember in 2018, I was in a domestic violence situation. So I was really close. I was like, I'm never going to have it ever again.
Sorry to hear that.
2019, all good. It's what got me here, doing
what it is.
So I signed up for a program and I learned how to, I learned stuff about myself, and I realized that, I was so closed off. I was not open to meet the man because I thought this is going to happen again. Like, I'm going to be betrayed, lied to, blah, blah, blah. I had a story about it. And then, I've done some programs, and start my business as a coach. And then I realized that I was ready for whoever was going to support me grow as a person. And I set that intention, and I said, I'm ready to meet that man who will help me go to the next level, in my journey, in my life, the person that, I'm going to learn through challenges, through connection, through good things, but, also difficulties. And literally about 6 weeks, after that, I actually met my partner, my current partner. And he came knocking at my door. Like I was selling a pool table, and we connected on Facebook. He came to buy the pool table. The pool table was broken. I didn't know until we tried to move it. And then he just said, well, in order to, I think you should, I was apologizing. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is going to complain about me on Facebook or something. So I just sent him a message and I said, I'm really sorry. I'm going to pull this out. Please don't complain. And he said, I think you should make it up for, to me by going out for a coffee. And I was like,
oh, what a sly dog. I like this guy already. There we go. What a
smart, very smart move.
he wanted to pick up the hot Romanian chick and he just went for it.
So if you want to find a man, just buy a pool table.
Yeah, and break. I reckon you bought the pool table, you broke it, you put out this. You're doing the whole honey pot thing.
I just it was all.
You're the Russian honey pot. Are you the Russian honey pot?
I had the strategy.
The Russian honeypot strategy. No offense to Russians. We love our Russian clients. I like it. So I love it. So there you go. So he's like, yeah, how do I? So obviously he walked in and thought, man, this chick's pretty hot. And he thought of a cunning strategy to get you out there so he can seduce you, or give you the opportunity to seduce him.
Well, actually, I think somebody told me that it's. I was trying to look at the moon phase today because I think it's new. I think it's new moon, isn't? I'm just trying to find out really quick because when it is, you can actually set intention. Yeah, it's a full moon. Here we go. So you can set an intention tonight.
Oh, there you go.
For those of you who are spiritual, it's a new moon. Sorry, it's a new moon, and you can set some intentions tonight. Like what is it that you want to really, go for next? What is it that you want? So maybe we should all just take some time and write down a new intention for 2024.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. And again, I don't mean to speak for Lassie because I don't want to misrepresent it, but I don't think I am. And we got a few great comments too, just to jump in. We got Rob Adams. Rob Adams made a great comment from earlier. He's aromantic, asexual, introvert, party of one. I get you, Rob. When I go into introvert mode and I'm playing XCOM 2, The War of the Chosen, I'm totally a party of one. I get it. And Daniela Bergman's, great seeing you, Daniela Bergman's. Daniela says, yes, it's a new moon, and yesterday was the 12th of the 12th. Interesting. I'm not quite into astrology, but I do like a lot of its tenets. And I remember, again, I don't mean to speak for Lassie and I don't want to misrepresent it, but this bit I'm pretty certain I am representing her correctly. Yeah, she had the intention too. She put out the intention of meeting a husband, actually husband material, right? And and then I came up on her radar, right, which was fascinating. So I think you're right. I think that's another good closing thought we have as well, is set an intention, right?
Yeah.
Don't be a victim to a situation. Put an intention, hold the intention of what you want, and keep playing to that end game agenda.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the worst thing the worst thing of being a victim is that we most of the time don't realize we are a victim.
Yeah, I did that.
I used to do that. I was very connected with my victimhood, and there's no shame in it. Like it's just part of the journey. We all have been there at one point or another. Some people grow out of it, and some people can't. And you're not a victim unless you allowed it to.
Well, I see it as playing the victim. It's sort of like it's when we allow ourselves to be the victim. Oh, woe is me, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and you can get out of it, and you can grow out of it, but you gotta have to have an honesty moment with yourself. And sometimes not everybody knows. I certainly didn't. I wasn't able to do it by myself. The only way I got out of my victimhood, and I was the biggest victim out there after my divorce, because my ex-husband cheated on me, and then I end up in a toxic relationship. So I was like, oh my God, men are the worst. Men don't care. I had such a massive story. I was the biggest victim of all. And then I had to sit with myself, and I realized, there's a common denominator in all of this, and that's me, and I gotta change some stuff. And if you might have just realized that you are, you have been a victim up until now, it's all right. It's diagnose, identify what's kind of in the way and what's preventing us from taking action and do some stuff that are really awesome in our life, is to realize, well, I am here and I want to go over here. How am I going to make this happen? How am I going from I don't want to be alone on Christmas Day to I want to be with people, or vice versa? I have too many people and I just want to be alone. Yeah. How can you create it? What do you have to tell yourself? What do you have to believe? What do you have to remind yourself, and have the courage to tell others, in order for you to create exactly what you want to experience?
Yeah. Cristina Davy, you are a brilliant lady, and you're on the money. And to those watching, be it your live now, watching the replay, please like, share, comment, connect with Cristina Davy and myself. And you're watching this live streamed over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter X. And Cristina Davy, thank you for your time. Can we get a final closing thought from you before we finish the live stream and wish people a great day or night?
Yeah, I think I already mentioned it, but just sit with yourself and just decide, what do you really want for you? What do you need right now? What do you need right now? And then just do it. We gave you plenty of examples and solutions for what situation you are in, and just do that and give yourself that gift, or either connecting with others or sit by yourself with yourself and enjoy it, because it's such a powerful thing to do.
Friends, you've heard it straight from Cristina Davy. Cristina Davy, thank you so much. You are amazing. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching. We love you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and enjoy it. Make it the best ever.
Oh my God, you've heard it straight from Cristina Davy. Thank you, everyone. Stay awesome. Love your work all. Keep up the